Right now this morning, is your pet's microchip at risk? A major tracking company's shutdown could leave millions of pets unprotected. What owners need to know this morning. And right now, mayoral candidate Shondell Washington Spivey on his plan to attract more young families to La Crosse.
Plus, it's a weather alert day due to hazardous road travels, mostly down to the south as well and east of I-90. We'll talk about that just a moment from now.
This is News 8 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Wednesday, February 12th, so maybe not getting quite as much snow as we were anticipating. That's been the story of the season, hasn't it?
Exactly. Remember I told you, diminishing returns with a question mark? Well, that's what's going to happen for us today. Hey, as we get into it, we were looking at maybe trying to get to 4 to 8 inches, but that's backing off clearly. We're going to be seeing maybe 2 to 6 inches for some of our heaviest spots, especially down south and east of I-90. We'll also be seeing the hazardous roadway travel, the possibilities of that causing at least minor to moderate roadway issues through the day. Now, snow showers out there, well, that all begins at 6 a.m., start from the south and working its way up towards La Crosse in the central portion of the area, and then trying to get up to Eau Claire, maybe if that occurs. Also, very cold out there right now. Tomorrow we'll do the same, and then we'll start to warm you up as we get closer to Friday and into Saturday. Valentine's Day, right, for Friday? Hey, take a look. We've got the winter storm warning in play in the pink there, holding on all the way down to Prairie du Chien and Bosqueville as well. And then, of course, the advisories, that's in purple there. We're in that for La Crosse, but not so much over in Eau Claire, though. But we'll take a look to see if they get anything out of that. Some of that snow potential possibly kind of working its way closer to us as we get down to the south, already working into the south now and the southwest of the state. We'll also carry over to how this all plays out. Getting up to about 8 o'clock, we'll see that move into La Crosse and continue to stretch all the way up to the north as well, possibly by Wausau as well, maybe even by Eau Claire, brushing them, getting out of the way once we finish out the evening hours. And it looks like we'll be done as we go into the evening, finish that out, and then go into the overnight where it's over by portions of Beaver Dam as well as Oshkosh and, of course, Lake Michigan. We're looking at 1 to 2 inches for La Crosse, getting up to Black River Falls, Winona, down to the south 2 to 4 inches, and up to the north as you get into Eau Claire, you're looking at 1 inch or less of snow. Back to you, Alexandra.
All right, Art, thank you. And just 2 school closures to let you know about this morning. Boscobel area schools and Prairie du Chien School District will be closed today. Those are scrolling at the bottom of your screen, and you can also check news8000.com for the latest updates. And a triple threat of storms is slamming the entire country. The first storm already dumped inches of snow from Kentucky to the mid-Atlantic, triggering hundreds of accidents and dozens of injuries just in Virginia. Now a second storm is pushing from the plains to the northeast with ice threatening power lines. The West Coast won't be spared. A third storm is taking aim at California, bringing heavy rain to already flood-ravaged areas near Redding and burn scars around LA. You can track weather on your block with the First Warn weather app. Download it where you find your apps. An American teacher is free this morning after nearly 3 years in Russian custody. Mark Fogel was arrested in 2021 for carrying prescribed medical marijuana into a Moscow airport. President Trump welcoming him to the White House last night following meetings with Jordan's King Abdullah and Elon Musk. CBS's Jared Hill has more from New York.
After 3.5 years in Russian captivity, American Mark Fogel is back on U.S. soil.
I feel like the luckiest man on earth right now.
President Donald Trump welcomed the Pennsylvania school teacher to the White House late last night.
It's great to have you back. Oh, gonna have a great life.
In 2021, Fogel was arrested at a Moscow airport for carrying a small amount of marijuana. His family says it was to treat back pain. The White House hasn't offered details on what the U.S. gave up in exchange, but said it's a sign of goodwill in ending Russia's war with Ukraine.
Not like deals you've seen over the years. They were very fair.
Earlier, during a meeting with Jordan's King Abdullah, Trump doubled down on his proposal for the U.S. to take over and redevelop Gaza, a plan that calls for Palestinians to be removed from the territory with no right to return.
We're going to take it. We're going to hold it. We're going to cherish it.
King Abdullah later posted on social media, rebuilding Gaza without displacing the Palestinians and addressing the dire humanitarian situation should be the priority for all. Meanwhile, in the Oval Office, Elon Musk, head of the president's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, defended efforts to cut government jobs and slash federal spending.
We are moving fast, so we will make mistakes, but we'll also fix the mistakes very quickly.
The Trump administration is facing dozens of lawsuits challenging DOGE's cuts and its access to sensitive government files.
President Trump hints another American hostage could be freed today. No details yet on who or where. Meanwhile, the president's Saturday deadline for Hamas to free the remaining Israeli hostages still stands. The terror group now threatening to delay the next release, claiming Israel broke the ceasefire. Israel denies that warning. They're warning that fighting will resume if hostages are not released on schedule. The Senate will vote today on Tulsi Gabbard, President Trump's pick for intelligence chief. The former Democratic congresswoman from Hawaii facing pushback over her stance on Russia's war in Ukraine and her meeting with Syria's dictator Assad. She cleared a key procedural vote last week, 52-46, setting up today's final confirmation. A Capitol Police officer who defended Congress on January 6 spoke out in La Crosse yesterday. Harry Dunn joined State Senator Brad Pfaff to condemn the recent pardons of January 6 defendants. Their message took aim at Supreme Court candidate Brad Schimmel, who supported the Trump pardons. Dunn says leaders must commit to protecting democracy.
It breaks my heart that he's back in the office because I expected more out of America, not out of him. I expected more out of America, that they would reject him in November, but they didn't. And it kind of makes what we officers went through make it seem like it didn't matter to the American people.
This was Dunn's second time in La Crosse. 3 men will plead guilty in the deadly beating of a Milwaukee hotel guest. Prosecutors say Hyatt Regency employees dragged Devontae Mitchell from the hotel and attacked him after a disturbance, leading to his death. Devin Johnson Carson, Brandon Turner, and Herbert Williamson will enter their pleas next month. The 4th suspect, Todd Erickson, will head to trial in August. A Holman man is headed to trial on weapons and reckless endangerment charges. Jeremy Bobo waived his preliminary hearing, and the judge entered a not guilty plea on his behalf. Police say he fired a gun inside of an apartment, the bullet going through the floor and into an empty unit. He was arrested at Holman High School, where police say he was driving a stolen car. And Holman police arresting 2 men in separate child porn investigations. 49-year-old Jason Laurie and 26-year-old Alexander Kinsler were taken into custody after searches at 2 homes last week. Both investigations continue. A La Crosse drug dealer will spend 8 years behind bars. 39-year-old Deontay House facing 4 more years of supervision after his release, plus community service and sobriety requirements. He was convicted last month on 6 drug trafficking charges from 2018. This morning, new pleas from the family of a pregnant teen missing from Beaver Dam. 16-year-old Sophia Franklin disappeared 2 weeks ago with 40-year-old Gary Day. Her parents now reaching out on Facebook, promising to support their daughter through hard things and good things ahead, they said. Police believe the pair is headed to Arkansas. Sophie's family has released these new photos. State Superintendent Jill Underly pushing for more career and technical funding in La Crosse. She kicked off Career and Technical Education Month at Western Tech yesterday. The superintendent also visiting Central High, promoting a $60 million plan to expand student programs.
Important for us to fund in our schools for a variety of reasons. I mean, when you think about a well-rounded learner, keeping kids engaged, the hands-on opportunities, yeah, there's certainly aspects of it that are going to help the workforce in the long run, but really the purpose of school is that we want kids to discover their passions.
Wisconsin is one of just 6 states without dedicated funding for CTE in public schools. Viroqua voters, take note of Friday's shortened hours. Early voting at City Hall will run from 8 to noon only as the building closes at 2 for IT work. Having a pet go missing is devastating. Now a popular company that helps recover lost cats and dogs has suddenly disappeared. The American Animal Hospital Association says the Save This Life microchip registry abruptly closed. Now the database is gone. David Schuman spoke with a vet about what you can do.
This is one of the scanners that will check for the microchip.
Flying Cloud Animal Hospital in Eden Prairie has used microchips from Save This Life for years. Suddenly, the company's database is gone.
From my understanding, it was pretty abrupt.
Dr. Mike Grace says the chips still work and are safe, but if they're scanned, the pet owner's contact information won't show up. A problem if your cat or dog goes missing. The best thing to do right now is first find out your chip number by contacting the vet or clinic that implanted it. If it's not from Save This Life, you don't need to do anything. If it is,
you just need to re-register that chip with another company.
Re-registering is free and easy. The website's even called freepetchipregistry.com. Vets say all of this is a good reminder to update the contact info associated with your chip or to simply get a chip in the first place.
Get your pets chipped. It definitely can help get them back to you. We've had a number of pretty interesting scenarios where pets get returned.
The Animal Humane Society says 1 in 3 dogs and cats will be lost at some point in their lives.
Every animal should be microchipped. All of my animals are microchipped. Collar and tag, and an accurate tag is actually the most effective way to get your animal back home if they're lost.
A quick scan of Salem here informed his owner he didn't have a chip.
Well, now you know. Now you know.
Hopefully, the family will never need it.
The Humane Society says Save This Life isn't one of the major registries, but you should still check your pet's chip. The company phone number is disconnected, and they did not respond to emails. The time now is 6:09. Still ahead on your morning news. President Trump telling the Treasury to stop making pennies. We'll take a look at the local impact. Google Calendar removes references to cultural events, and Valentine's Day chocolate prices are on the rise. In Minneapolis, the Canadian consulate hosted Minnesota government ministers to discuss Trump's tariffs on steel. We'll take a look at the concern for consumers. And now, a hidden treasure beneath a Picasso masterpiece. Art experts in London just discovered a mysterious woman's portrait hidden for more than a century under another painting. Picasso painted over her in 1901 with a portrait of his friend. Now technology has revealed her face, so who is she? The mystery continues. She does share features with several women from Picasso's Paris days. As you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the city that was the backdrop for the Hunger Games and Homeland. That is Charlotte, North Carolina. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is after the break.
During the President's Day sale at PM Sleep Center, you'll save up to $400 on select Sealy adjustable mattress sets. Hurry in early for the best selection. Your next mattress is at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
When we sit down with the customer, we're going to present the options. I want to be completely upfront and honest. I want to present every option to the best of my ability, and I want that customer, at the end of the day, to make the decision for themselves for what's right for them.
This street's like any other in Wisconsin, but the new neighbor is a pedophile who repeatedly raped a little girl, released after just 2 years in prison. Thanks to Judge Susan Crawford's sweetheart sentence, a fraction of the 60 years he faced. Now, the pedophile lives blocks from a school. And with Susan Crawford on the bench, your street could be next.
I'm Mike Rowe, and this is the most honest commercial you're going to see all week.
Today, we're waterproofing a basement.
How long do you think this problem has been a problem?
Well, actually, the homeowner told us that she's lived here for 42 years, and when they first moved in, they had water issues.
Yeah.
That is like your telltale sign of like, hey, I'm having an issue, and that's when people should call.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
Craving authentic Mexican flavors? Look no further than Senor Villa. At Senor Villa, we bring the taste of Mexico to your table every day. Join us for our unbeatable $5 lunch specials packed with flavor and value. And don't miss our nightly specials where the fiesta never ends. Senor Villa, where great food meets great value. Visit us today. Senor Villa, the taste of Mexico you've been craving.
Wow, forest berry fudge is amazing. This is melting in my mouth.
Dill pickle? Whoa, that's actually good.
Holy fudge. This is the best thing ever.
Expressions brought to you by Valley Fudge and Candy. Find us in Coon Valley, Wisconsin, or order online today.
When I'm done, cleaned up, and I take the customer down there, I go through it all with them and explain how the equipment operates, show them how the bypass operates, how to set the clock, how the unit actually backwashes, pulls brine, how a water softener actually works.
During the President's Day sale at PM Sleep Center, you'll save up to $800 on select Stearns & Foster adjustable mattress sets. Hurry in early for the best selection. Your next mattress is at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
Well, good morning to you and happy Wednesday. We've been waiting for this snow to get to our area here. Slowly but surely it's working up from the south, bubbling up, and it's going to cause a little visibility issues. We have this weather alert day that continues through the morning hours. Also, more of the hazardous road travels could be for spotty roadways as well as underlying snow underneath, or I should say ice underneath that snow as all this colder air starts to continue to work into the forecast going into the sunrise time. You're also going to be seeing this happen down to the south by Prairie du Chien as well as you get along Boscobel as well, and then along I-90 getting to La Crosse. That'll be into the forecast. Right now, temperatures -11 in Ladysmith, -2 in Eau Claire. Also minus, or I should say 5 degrees for La Crosse, and then down to the south you're at 10 to 11 degrees there. We're holding on to that, again, what it feels like over in Eau Claire. So the temperature and the feels like temperature are pretty much par. We're also looking at Black River Falls at 2 degrees, -9 now for La Crosse, continuing to get colder, 9 degrees in Viroqua. Let's take a gander at what's happening for La Crosse during the planner, going into the 6 a.m. hour as well as 7 a.m., continuing on to 9 o'clock and all the way through the afternoon and into the evening commute. You're looking at that snow. That is a weather alert day for us as well, but mostly down to the south as well. But you'll pick up maybe a little bit of cloud cover increasing as you go into Eau Claire and then getting into cloudier skies to finish out the afternoon, getting into some snow potential, maybe less than an inch or so working into the forecast. Kids going to school for La Crosse, though, you're looking at 5 degrees for the early morning, around 7 o'clock in the morning is in a weather alert day. Also for the afternoon as well at 3 o'clock, you're looking at the weather alert day at 13 degrees for our high today. You're looking at -2 to start off in Eau Claire with a little bit of morning sun, and then you get into at least about 10 degrees with a little snow potential to finish out the day. Let's take a look at what's going on, though. Fog potential is going to be happening through the day, getting right back into it all the way from the morning into the afternoon and into your evening and into your evening commute as well. Be safe out there. Have a great day.
In our consumer news, Minnesota braces for price hikes as President Trump slaps 25% tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel. Canadian officials and Minneapolis business leaders met, both sides stressing their crucial partnership. Jonah Kaplan reports.
President Trump delayed his original tariff plan by a month. 25% on all Canadian and Mexican imports, except for energy, subject to 10%. At the Canadian consulate in Minneapolis, no one is feeling any relief.
No, I would say there's a very high level of uncertainty right now.
Warren Kading is Saskatchewan's Minister of Trade and Export Development. Minnesota imports roughly $14 billion worth of goods from Canada and is Saskatchewan's top U.S. customer, relying on its oil and agriculture. The minister says he's here to deliver a simple but straightforward message.
Our biggest concern is ultimately, any increase in costs is going to likely end up being a detriment to what the consumer or to the customer or to what the taxpayer is going to see.
Gary Werdish, the president of the Minnesota Farmers Union, told us his message back was, "We don't want to lose you as a business partner."
It's close by. The logistics, it's so easy to move back and forth, so that it'd be a tough, very tough market to replace if we lose, our relationship with Canada.
Of course, they're not the only ones talking. The threat of tariffs have led to high-level meetings in Washington and Ottawa about securing the border. Last year, U.S. Customs and Border Protection detained nearly 200,000 people across the entire northern border, 259 in what's called the Grand Forks sector. This year, the numbers are down, less than 40,000 and 67 respectively. When it comes to drugs, agents retrieved roughly 11,500 pounds on the northern border, a little less than 10% of all drugs seized. This year, 3,500 pounds have been recovered. The top drugs, marijuana, cocaine, and ketamine. The minister told us Canada is answering America's call.
There is a lot more activity along the border when it comes to surveillance. The other thing that they've deployed is plate readers, which is a very unique piece of technology.
And President Trudeau announced the borders are yesterday. Now, after minerals, fuel, and oil, Minnesota's top imported goods from Canada are vehicles and machinery. That, according to the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce. And local businesses are reacting to President Trump's latest cost-cutting target, the penny. The U.S. Mint spends nearly 4 cents to make each 1-cent coin, costing $192 million a year. The plan would have stores round prices to the nearest nickel. One local restaurant owner says the change wouldn't affect his business.
I'm the one that has to count the tills at the end of the day, and I hate counting 2 handfuls of pennies and nickels and dimes, so I figure all my taxes into my menu prices, and they all come out on the quarter. So at the end of the day, I have only quarters to deal with.
The U.S. has more than 200 billion pennies in circulation. Experts say it'll take years to phase them out. References to cultural events like Black History Month and Pride Month have been removed in an update to the Google Calendar. Among the excluded references were Women's History Month, Jewish Heritage, Hispanic Heritage, and Indigenous Peoples Month, as well as Holocaust Remembrance Day. The changes have prompted some to criticize the company. The price tag on Valentine's chocolate may leave a bitter taste in your mouth. One expert says expect to see chocolate prices jump about 10 to 20% over last year. The price of cocoa has more than doubled since the beginning of 2024, and the cost of manufacturing chocolate has increased by more than 167% in just the last 2 years. That was a look at your consumer news this morning. Now we will send it over to Art. He's got a look at our forecast.
Okay, let's get you updated with this to make sure everything's going to play out for you all right. 2 to 6 inches of snow in the forecast, and we also have this weather alert day because of the hazardous road travel in the forecast. As you can see, that's all day for this morning's commute, continuing on to the afternoon and evening commutes as well. South and east of I-90, that's where the big disruption is going to be for right now. We're going to also see the highest potential for getting the snow on the ground is mostly for the afternoon and into the evening, and I'm all kind of doing quotes with that, by the way, just to let you know. We'll see this start at 6 a.m. to 3 a.m. going to Thursday, where it tracks all the way to the east by Lake Michigan by Thursday in the overnight hours. Then we've got the very cold air that we have to contend with this morning as well as tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to add in a little bit of breeze as well and gusty conditions. For right now, though, you're holding on to this by Eau Claire, so I'm going to get you guys in the mix with that, working to the Twin Cities as well and extending all the way down into portions of Minnesota down into Iowa. We're also holding on to Prairie du Chien, where you have the winter snow storm in place. That also includes Boscobel as well. Not so much Richland. Richland is mostly into the portions of, well, our area getting into, maybe they are, but we're getting mostly into areas right by the winter weather advisory, which is going to happen as well. We're looking at maybe 2 to 5 inches of snow in the forecast. A lot of moisture working into the southern as well as the central portion of the nation. Some of this could possibly change and or disrupt some of our forecast as well, leading into some of this moisture right here, kind of bringing in the potential for adding in some more moisture in the atmosphere, causing our snow to be a little bit more fluffy. That could happen for us. We'll see this continue to track as we get closer here, but we still have the drier air, clearing skies as well, working down to our area here, also pushing in that dry air. And of course, the winds are light for right now, all the way through the day, as you can see for La Crosse, getting into the 7 o'clock hour and extending on. Snow is that potential. Also possibly for the 6 o'clock hour as we finish out the 6 going into 7, and this goes all the way into your evening commute. We'll take a look at Eau Claire as well, possibly getting drier conditions as far as snow is concerned. Well, until at least we get into the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock hour to finish your afternoon and into your evening commute, where you could possibly see an inch or less in the forecast. We'll push this up from the south, as you can see, working all the way up to La Crosse. Then it starts to track a little bit more to the northeast out of the area, but it does brush by Eau Claire. It also brings snow over to Black River Falls. The bulk of that snow starts to track a little bit more to the east as well. As that happens, we could see the possibility of maybe 2 to 4 inches of snow in that direction as you get into Vogue Field, portions of Viroqua as well, and then maybe at least getting into 2 to 4 possibly of inches down by Boscobel as well as Prairie du Chien and out of the area. For us here in La Crosse, 1 to 2 inches of snow. Eau Claire possibly at least an inch or less as you finish out. By the time we finish the evening commute and get into the 9 o'clock hour, most of that we clear out the skies and push all that snow over to the 3 o'clock hour, and up and out it goes, and we're done. Tomorrow morning we're also looking at some potential breezy conditions leading into the 3 o'clock time slot, where we're looking at maybe 6 to about 10 degrees for your highs. We also have more snow coming into the forecast as we go into Friday, Valentine's Day, and into Saturday, possibly getting into at least scattered showers to at least widespread scattered showers to finish out, diminishing on Saturday. We'll also see as we go through the low temperatures, the high temperatures today, you're going to see a lot of areas picking up a little bit of snow and continuing on back to the north, where you're going to be seeing that for them in the central zone, but not so much to the north as you finish out right there. We'll take it right back to the next 8 days as we finish out your weather, getting into your forecast. You're going to see this continue on, where you're looking at colder conditions today and into tomorrow, milder conditions for Friday and Saturday, but much colder conditions from Sunday on into next week.
All right, Art, thank you. Still ahead, the U.S. facing its worst flu season in 15 years. What your family needs to know as cases continue to climb.
Coming up in the Blitz, area boys hoops teams looking to strengthen their resumes as we inch closer to playoff seedings. Highlights coming your way shortly.
Saturday through Monday only. Buy this gorgeous sectional and you'll get the Ottoman free. The President's Weekend Doorbuster deals at Slumberland Furniture. Up to 60% off list. Get a free recliner with this reclining sofa. Only at Slumberland Furniture.
It's time for the Holman Locker and Meat Market Hog Sale. Order a whole hog, half hog, or our pork bundle. Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality, local meat.
Must have been hard to adjust with everything going on.
Didn't know how to air your grievances.
Maybe things got too heated.
Or the cost of running was too high.
All right, I did it. Okay? I don't know what I'm doing. I need an expert.
I've heard all I needed to. Great job, Brooke. Read him his rights.
You have the right to a great company with over 50 years of combined experience.
That's just a matter of conditioning.
G&T, closing the case on all your heating and air conditioning needs.
Bad back? Get Good Feet with the personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store. Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good Feet, good life. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Ellie McClune is committed to lacrosse, striving for common sense leadership that addresses homelessness, promotes public safety, and supports affordable housing. With deep community roots and experience as a realtor and small business owner, Ellie understands the challenges and opportunities of our city. It's time for real change with a focus on community and responsible solutions. Make your vote count for a thriving lacrosse. Vote in the primary on February 18th. Paid for by Friends of Ellie McClune.
It's time for the Holman Locker and Meat Market Hog Sale. Order a whole hog, half hog, or our pork bundle. Holman Locker and Meat Market, your place for fresh, quality, local meat.
Saturday through Monday only. Buy this gorgeous sectional and you'll get the Ottoman free. The President's Weekend Doorbuster deals at Slumberland Furniture. Up to 60% off list. Get a free recliner with this reclining sofa. Only at Slumberland Furniture.
A legal loophole is allowing daycare facilities to operate as private schools, avoiding important daycare safety regulations. Thursday at 6, what to look for and what questions to ask to keep your kids safe. Thursday at 6 on News 8.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, after a couple losses to end last week, the Central boys looking to get back in the win column against an opponent they've had a lot of success against lately. Riverhawks needing a win for any chance of a share of the MVC. Central off to a strong start. It's senior Jalen Calvert in the corner knocking it down. Then Calvert is going to kick it out to Frankie Wilk. Same spot, same result. Home side feeling good early. Logan off to a bit of a slow start, but here Harper Kendall gets in on the fun from beyond the arc with a 3. A little later, it's Derek Pangier in the lane going with the floater, and that one drops. Big night from sophomore Gabe Service, who had a game-high 17 as Central wins the crosstown rivalry by a final of 68-42. West Salem and Onalaska could meet up in the D2 playoffs, facing off last night. Off the feed from Kyle Haley, Nathan Dilber spotting up from way downtown, burying it. Panthers go up 4. Visitors moving it well against the zone last night. Tyson Labus connecting for the trifecta this time. Anna right there with West Salem in the first half. Killer crossover by Ian Cole leads the 2 at the rack. Then check out Jack Smith here. He's going to get fancy with the finish at the cup. Toppers down 2 at that point, but the shooting by West Salem could not be slowed down. A good win for the Panthers. A couple of the Dairyland's best doing battle. We'll begin with a nice pass out to Ryan Oldendorf of Blair Taylor. He will drain the open 3. The theme last night, lots of 3s. A tough go of it offensively, though, for both squads in the first half. But here the Hornets' Levi Merrick drives and finds a soft spot to get the floater to fall and cut into the deficit. And then after a couple passes by the visitors, it's Ethan Nisley. He's going to take things into his own hands, getting the shot to go off the spin move. Almost center Lincoln had a chance to send it to OT, but the shot was off the mark and the Wildcats escape with a 43-41 win. And the return of a former UWL quarterback on the sidelines this time around. That story on our website, along with Eagle women's basketball, as they prepare for a big one tonight. It does it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Here at Maxwell White, we know how valuable your time is. From issues with your hot water to slower clogged drains, our team is always on time with friendly service and solutions you can trust. Don't wait. Contact Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
Brad Schimmel's ad, it's a lie. So here's the truth. Schimmel wants to bring back the 1849 law that bans all abortions, with no exceptions for rape or incest. Schimmel gave plea deals to child molesters, let domestic abusers walk with no jail time. And he's the one who let 6,000 rape kits sit untested for 2 years, while survivors waited for justice. That's Brad Schimmel. Too extreme for the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get over $2,700 purchase cash on 2025 Sierra 1500 models.
Visit your Best Choice GMC dealer today.
The President's Week sale at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Hurry in for store-wide sale prices, 24-month financing, and free gas just for shopping at Drury's. Only at Drury's will you find all the best brands like Daniels Amish, Flex Steel, Smith Brothers, and Lazy Boy. Plus, the design staff to help you pull it all together. Great prices, 24-month financing, and even free gas. It's happening now. The President's Week sale at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Family owned for 100 years.
Welcome to Hazel and Lola's Kitchen Boutique, your new go-to for all things gourmet and kitchen chic. From artisanal cookware to unique gourmet ingredients, we've got everything to inspire your inner chef. Discover our exclusive collection of kitchen gadgets, quality knives, and delicious culinary delights. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a home cooking enthusiast, Hazel and Lola's is here to elevate your kitchen game. Hazel and Lola's, located inside Wesco and Sparta. Stop in today and tell them Peyton sent you.
With a tankless system, you can have unlimited hot water whenever and for however long you need it. Upgrade to a tankless today and never be left without hot water again. Rely on Maxwell White, plumbing done right.
Vote for your favorite business at bestoflacrossecounty.com.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
In your morning medical news, a disturbing warning from the World Health Organization. They say that polluted air is now threatening 99% of the world's population. The health agency says air pollution kills nearly 7 million people every year, making it the second deadliest health risk worldwide. UNICEF warns that the solution, air purifiers, still remains out of touch for many.
It's the children whose families are living in poverty, who can't afford clean cook stoves, who can't afford masks, who can't afford air purifiers. They're the ones that are paying the price for the air pollution crisis. And these children are paying the price with their health, with their education, and with their very futures. And we need to do better.
Currently, more than 6,000 cities in 17 countries are actively monitoring air quality. And we're on track to see the most intense flu season the U.S. has had in at least 15 years. While other viral infections could be mistaken for flu, experts say doctors' office visits driven by flu-like symptoms are way up, and the virus has even forced schools in some states to shut down. Mandy Gaither takes a look at the latest flu data and how to avoid all of these seasonal viruses.
For a second time this season, flu cases are climbing. So far, the CDC estimates there have been at least 24 million flu illnesses, 310,000 hospitalizations, and 13,000 deaths, including at least 57 children.
If you look at cases overall, it's the worst in many, many years.
43 states have reported high or very high flu activity in the last week. Nationwide, more than 30% of flu tests are coming back positive, and this season you can also test for flu at home.
We weren't able to do that. You could do COVID tests in the past, but now there's a 3-in-1 flu test.
U.S. health officials recommend the annual flu vaccine for everyone 6 months and older. About 44% of adults got flu shots this winter, the same as last winter. But coverage of children is way down at about 45% this winter. It's usually around 50%. Experts say it's still not too late to get vaccinated for flu.
Now keep in mind, if you get a vaccine, it takes about 2 weeks to actually get the immunity from the vaccine, for those antibodies to build up in your body.
To protect against all seasonal viruses, doctors say to avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth because germs can spread that way. Wash your hands with soap and water, clean frequently touched surfaces, and avoid close contact with people who are sick.
Experts say if you have flu-like symptoms, it's a good idea to get tested. Knowing if you have the flu can help slow the spread, but also help those who are at higher risk of severe illness because certain antiviral medications can be taken in order to shorten the duration of those flu symptoms. And those 2 NASA astronauts who've been stuck up in space will return from space earlier than planned. Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams have been on the space station since their Boeing Starliner test flight in June. NASA's decision to swap SpaceX capsules for the next mission means they will now head home in mid-March after Crew 10 arrives. I bet they're counting down the days. And some big news for UW La Crosse students looking to dive into the world of AI. The university is launching a new AI ethics certificate. The program starting this spring will cover topics like meta-ethics, philosophy of mind, and moral responsibility. It is a 12-credit program designed to equip students for the ethical challenges that come with AI.
What this certificate is designed to do is to help students think about these issues in a way that's socially informed, to help them develop a conscience, to help them understand where we're at with the technology, what the technology is capable of as we currently see it, and then what the potential is for this technology.
The program will be available starting in the spring semester. And now we'll send it back over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got a look at our morning commute.
All right, my main concern is that commute, in fact, not only for this morning, but this afternoon and this evening as well. You're also going to be seeing the snow accumulations are really going to be picking up as we go through the day, starting out down south as well as east of I-90. We're looking at it's going to be the possibility of a wind chill picking up as we go into later on tonight and then into tomorrow. Slick spots are going to be happening for us as well, maybe a little icy conditions underlying that snow. We'll also see the snowy roadways, as I mentioned before. We've already had snow on the roadways. Yesterday's sunshine kind of depleted all of that, of course, as well as plowing the roadways. They did a great job here, but now it's all about the visibility today. We're going to be in cloudy skies pretty much all the way through the day, so you're going to have the visibility issues. Starting as we go into the 7 o'clock hour and continuing on all the way into the noon hour, you can see low visibilities for La Crosse at 4 miles. We'll also see down by Prairie du Chien, you're still holding on to 3 miles of visibility. We're also looking up to the north. Once you get to Eau Claire, even their skies, as you can see, are clear over there, but they're holding on to some fog issues getting into Chippewa Valley there. And even Medford also starting to lose that visibility. We'll see this continue on into the evening commute as well, pretty much down to the south. So please take it slow, take your time, give yourself a little extra time today, possibly as you finish out. Current temperatures right now, -11 for Ladysmith, -2 for Eau Claire. You're looking at La Crosse still holding on to 5 degrees, and down to the south, 10 to 11 degrees, no change there. Then we get back to Eau Claire, they're at -2, -24 now in Ladysmith, holding on to -9 still in La Crosse. As we finish out, you're also looking at the planner for La Crosse snow pretty much all morning, afternoon, and into the evening hours. Eau Claire, you'll pick your snow up going into 1 o'clock, and you're back in it at 7 o'clock, holding on to a 50% chance. Be safe out there. Have a great day.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Ellen is turning 80. She loves to spend time with her friends, family, and her husband, Roger.
All right, and Jameson is turning 8. He loves to build Lego, play outside, hang with his family, and shoot his Nerf guns.
All right, if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button on the home tab. Coming up, mayoral candidate Shondell Washington Spivey joins us with his vision for growing La Crosse's population. That's next.
Dear all-wheel drive, let's show the road what we've got. Yours, Toyota.
Right now, lease a new 2025 Camry for $309 a month. Toyota. Let's go places.
Around here, neighbors come together to make each other better. We're taking the same approach with healthcare. Gunderson Health System and Bellin Health have come together to form Amplify Health, giving you more of what's important in healthcare. More caring, more listening, more to feel good about on your way to feeling better. Overall, just a little more heart. Amplify Health by Gunderson. A little empathy changes everything.
President's Day is a time to honor all presidents, past and present. And at King Furniture, we're giving you the opportunity to save some presidents with huge discounts throughout the entire store, up to 60% off.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
And right now, you can get 0% financing.
So save some presidents at King.
For the record, Franklin was not a president, but you can save him too. It's the President's Day sale going on right now at King Furniture.
Nice people.
Nice furniture.
Nice style.
Ellie McClune is committed to lacrosse, striving for common sense leadership that addresses homelessness, promotes public safety, and supports affordable housing. With deep community roots and experience as a realtor and small business owner, Ellie understands the challenges and opportunities of our city. It's time for real change with a focus on community and responsible solutions. Make your vote count for a thriving lacrosse. Vote in the primary on February 18th. Paid for by Friends of Ellie McClune.
Bad feet? Bad back? Get Good Feet with a personalized arch support system from the Good Feet store. Clinically proven to provide significant pain relief in only 4 weeks. Good feet, good hugs. Good feet, good days. Good feet, good life. The Good Feet store. Book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
For over 40 years, Lacrosse Glass and Overhead Door has been the go-to company for anything glass and door. We offer a large stock inventory of CEHI garage doors to help you find the perfect fit. As a locally owned business, we take pride in our work and always get the job done. From commercial glass and glazing to residential glass and CEHI garage doors, we have the experience and expertise to help you. Call or visit our website today.
Dear all-wheel drive, let's show the road what we've got. Yours, Toyota.
Right now, lease a new 2025 Corolla for $219 a month. Toyota. Let's go places.
All right, our local weather, we're looking at the possibility of this happening out in a second here. Let me just get to you. We're going to have that winter storm alert going on down to the south here as we continue to have that happen. We're also looking at the potential for more of that snow in the forecast coming up from the south and, of course, attracting the east as well. We're looking at maybe along I-90 continuing on. We're also going to be seeing the hazardous road travel in the forecast, 2 to 6 inches in the forecast, possibly as we finish out going into how this all plays out. It's going to be like this. We're going to be seeing snow showers in the forecast. Starts at 6 a.m., which is right now, 3 a.m. as well. Fog issues, that's all the way till about Thursday in the morning, and then we'll have that continue on. We also have very cold air that's working in the forecast now. Colder air working out of Canada, working down to the south as well. Eau Claire, you're in that mix right now for the cold weather advisory. That means you're going to be seeing snow, I should say wind chills of possibly getting to about -20 in some cases. We're already close to that for Ladysmith. As far as the snow is concerned, down to the south in the pink, you're going to be seeing that also to the east as well, where we're holding on to that 5 to 7 inches possibly, maybe, mostly around say 4 to 8, we'll call it that, and then holding on to the winter weather advisory, 2 to 5 inches or less, working in the forecast for us. Wind chill, slick spots, snowy roadways, visibility, that's the issue as we go into it. Yes, we have a little bit of wind chill this morning, but we're going to see this pick up later on in the evening hours at 9 o'clock, carry all the way into sunrise for tomorrow on Thursday. Slick spots, we've got the iciness on the roadways as well as snowy conditions. We'll also see the visibility issues also going to be a big difference as well, where we'll see visibilities down to the teens. Holding on to at least here, holding on to Houston, all the way up into areas by Dallas and extending into the Kentucky region as well as Tennessee. Snow and ice are going to be a part of your forecast. We're also seeing rain and snow at the base of that going into Tennessee. This will continue on where we could see some of this kind of work its way into our forecast today and enhance the snow accumulation possibly as we go into it. But for now, drier air is still with us right now. That's kind of hurting us. That's keeping the Eau Claire out of a lot of extra snow, and of course also kind of kind of cheating us out of that too as well. But we do have snow all the way across the board for La Crosse going through the day as well. That continues on into the afternoon and evening hours where the heaviest snow is going to happen. Also, Eau Claire getting in the mix. Some of those returns now are showing more snow, kind of trying to get to Eau Claire where they could see possibly an inch of snow or less. Today, though, we're looking at least conditions to be from 12 to about 17 degrees under cloudy skies. As that finishes out tomorrow, we're looking at highs at least from about 5 to about 10 degrees. So again, colder with a wind chill in the forecast as well. You're going to see more snow coming into the forecast as well as we go into Friday, Saturday as well, where we're looking at more scattered to widespread snow showers in the forecast. And once that happens, that is Valentine's Day on Friday, we'll continue on with conditions to play out like this, going into the possibility of more snow in the forecast as this continues on. This is Friday going into Saturday, partially on Saturday. I'm going to stop it right here. As you can see, that snow comes in and gets an enhancement of ice and snow down to the south of that. You can see that there. All right, how about this though? We go into the next few days where we're going to be seeing conditions like this. 14 to 10 to finish out with milder conditions for Friday going into Saturday. Colder air comes back again for next week.
All right, Art, thank you. And continuing our conversations with La Crosse's mayoral candidates this morning, we're joined by Shondell Washington Spivey. He's a former school board member and co-founder of La Crosse's Black Leaders Acquiring Knowledge, also known as Black. Good morning, Shondell. Nice to see you again.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so just let us know, you've laid out some ambitious housing plans. What specific actions do you plan on taking to address our housing shortage?
Yes, well, the city of La Crosse has many different evidence-based housing plans, and exploring those and seeing, how we can utilize those plans since we've paid for them.
Right.
But then in addition, also looking at how we can change zoning codes to ensure that we make sure we have a variety of housing for La Crosse and be able to attract more families and youth in this area.
Okay.
All right, so your background includes significant youth program work. How would you leverage that experience for La Crosse? And of course, how would you make it more attractive to young renters or families?
Yeah, so one of the beautiful things about the work that I do is collaboration. So I get to collaborate with organizations across the city, the state, the nation even. And so leveraging those relationships to explore what are other cities doing to attract families and youth in their area. And then also one of the great things about what I do is in connecting with families, I'm constantly hearing about what they want to see happen here in La Crosse. And one of those things is, a lot of families are like, I'm going to go out of town because it's more fun there. And so figuring out what attractions are happening in other cities that we can make sure we have here in our city to ensure that families stay, but then also that we're attracting other families as well.
And playing off that a little bit, we do see a little bit of a population decline here while some surrounding communities are growing. You emphasize smart development. So how would your approach to land use help us hopefully see the population grow again?
Yeah, so I think one of those big things is really going to be looking at what land do we have that's buildable, what land do we need to lift out of the floodplain, but then also how do we repurpose vacant buildings in this city and utilize them for that very purpose of how we bring in families, but then also still making sure that we're maintaining the resources for current residents as well.
Okay.
All right, so, and this continues to be discussed in our community. Should La Crosse police assist federal immigration officers? How would you approach that as mayor?
So I am one that says no, we should not be assisting the federal government in their immigration efforts. I believe that the federal government has enough resources to do that on their own, and our city resources are already stretched. And so I would rather purpose our city resources for the residents in the city.
Okay. All right, Shondell, well, thank you so much for being here this morning and sharing your platform with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
And a reminder that we will wrap up our mayoral candidate conversations tomorrow with Ellie McClune. You can catch all of the candidate conversations on our website, news8000.com. Stay with us. We're back right after this.
Coming up on CBS Mornings, we've got a Super Bowl MVP in the house. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts joins us to talk about his dream season and how his past failures motivated him to reach his ultimate goal. Also, first-time Oscar nominee Demi Moore talks with Natalie Morales about her powerful performance in The Substance and the recognition she's receiving now after decades in Hollywood. And love is in the air ahead of Valentine's Day, but if romance novels are not your cup of tea, Amazon Books' Sarah Gelman is here with some unconventional Valentine's reads. We will have everything you need to know and more on the show. We'll see you at 7.
During the President's Day sale at PM Sleep Center, you'll save up to $400 on select Sealy adjustable mattress sets. Hurry in early for the best selection. Your next mattress is at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
Dahl Honda is proud to sponsor News 8 Now's Top-Notch Teacher Program. It's always a highlight of our month to recognize the top-notch teacher and thank them for all they do for our students in school. Dahl Honda values the great work all teachers do for our children and community. If you know a teacher who deserves top-notch teacher recognition, please nominate them. Thank you, teachers, for going above and beyond and providing a top-notch education.
This street's like any other in Wisconsin, but the new neighbor is a pedophile who repeatedly raped a little girl, released after just 2 years in prison. Thanks to Judge Susan Crawford's sweetheart sentence, a fraction of the 60 years he faced. Now, the pedophile lives blocks from a school. And with Susan Crawford on the bench, your street could be next.
Attention! If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 715-469-6907. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 715-469-6907. Again, that's 715-469-6907.
During the President's Day sale at PM Sleep Center, you'll save up to $800 on select Stearns & Foster adjustable mattress sets. Hurry in early for the best selection. Your next mattress is at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
A legal loophole is allowing daycare facilities to operate as private schools, avoiding important daycare safety regulations. Thursday at 6, what to look for and what questions to ask to keep your kids safe. Thursday at 6 on News 8.
This February.
It's your birthday. I'm going to be 50. 1975. I feel lucky to be here now and to be in it with other people.
Celebrate through February 21st.
Weekdays at 3 on News 8. News 8 Now, Sports.
Welcome back. It's 6:51. Time for your morning news now. A Holman man is heading to trial on weapons and reckless endangerment charges. Jeremy Bobo waived his preliminary hearing. The judge entered a not guilty plea for him. Police say he fired a gun inside of an apartment with the bullet going through the floor and into an empty unit. He was arrested at Holman High School, where police say he was driving a stolen car. Holman police arrest 2 men in separate child porn investigations. 49-year-old Jason Lowry and 26-year-old Alexander Kinsler taken into custody after searches at 2 homes last week. Both investigations are ongoing. This morning, new pleas from the family of a pregnant teen missing from Beaver Dam. 16-year-old Sophia Franklin disappeared 2 weeks ago with 40-year-old Gary Day. Her parents now reaching out on Facebook, promising to support their daughter through hard things and good things ahead, they say. Police believe the pair is headed to Arkansas. Sophie's family releasing these new photos. A Capitol police officer who defended Congress on January 6, speaking out in La Crosse. Harry Dunn joined State Senator Brad Pfaff to condemn the recent pardons of January 6 defendants. Their message took aim at Supreme Court candidate Brad Schimmel, who supported the pardons. Dunn says leaders must commit to protecting democracy.
It breaks my heart that he's back in the office because I expected more out of America, not out of him. I expected more out of America, that they would reject him in November, but they didn't. And it kind of makes what we officers went through make it seem like it didn't matter to the American people.
This was Dunn's second time speaking in La Crosse. President Trump trying to sell his development plans for Gaza to Jordan's king at the White House yesterday. King Abdullah II did not immediately dismiss the president's idea when the two leaders met, but after he released a statement that says Arab nations stand together in their opposition to displacing Palestinians in Gaza. And the president doubling down, demanding Hamas release more Israeli hostages by Saturday. The terror group refuses, claiming Israel violated the ceasefire nearly 270 times. Prime Minister Netanyahu warns that fighting will resume if no hostages are freed, sparking protests in Tel Aviv. The Senate will vote today on confirming Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence. She has come under fire for her views on Syria and Russia. The Senate Intelligence Committee narrowly moved her nomination forward last week. Viroqua voters take note of Friday's shortened voting hours. Early voting will go from 8 to noon. The building will close at 2 for IT work. State Superintendent Jill Underly pushing for more career and technical funding in La Crosse. She kicked off Career and Technical Education Month at Western Tech. Superintendent also visited Central High School, promoting a $60 million plan to expand student programs.
Important for us to fund in our schools for a variety of reasons. I mean, when you think about a well-rounded learner, keeping kids engaged, the hands-on opportunities, yeah, there's certainly aspects of it that are going to help the workforce in the long run, but really the purpose of school is that we want kids to discover their passions.
Wisconsin is one of just 6 states without dedicated funding for CTE in public schools. A triple threat of storms is slamming the nation. The first one already dumped inches of snow from Kentucky to the mid-Atlantic, triggering hundreds of accidents and injuries. Now a second storm is pushing from the plains to the northeast with ice threatening power lines. The west coast won't be spared. A third storm is taking aim at California, bringing heavy rain to already flood-ravaged areas.
And from some of that rain and snow, we're going to pick some of that up as well, getting into a weather alert day for us, mostly down by south and east of I-90, where they're going to be seeing the most of the snow forecast getting into our region here, holding on to at least 1 to 2 inches for La Crosse and maybe an inch or less for Eau Claire. We'll also carry over into, again, colder conditions to finish out for today and tomorrow. Milder conditions for Friday and Saturday as more snow is on the way Friday going into Saturday, and then drier conditions for Sunday with much colder conditions to continue from there and into next week.
At nearly 200 pounds, this is Ramses. He may be the tallest dog in the world. His owner recently had the Great Dane, another Great Dane, measured to submit his height to the Guinness Book of World Records. Ramses is a gentle giant who is anything but gentle on food. He eats 4 pounds of food every day. Great Dane indeed. That's a big dog, wow.
Yeah, they really are kind dogs. I just remember
that's what
friends
people say. Yeah, gentle giants, right? And a lot of the times you see people have 2 Great Danes, not just 1. They got 2. So they must be doing something right.
Who are your
People I know, at
friends?
least. Thank you for waking up with us this morning. We will see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your day. Be sure to check news8000.com for the latest school closings and weather updates.